My wife cheated on me but thinks it doesn't count because she did it before we got married. My wife finally came to the realization that I was not going to just get over this, which then brought her to the realization that I might want out of the marriage. This then brought on a near nervous breakdown from her. I thought she was having crocodile tears. But it soon became apparent to me that she wasn't acting or faking, she was having a legitimate panic attack. This led to an ER visit and that led to an overnight stay in the hospital and then to new medications and a scheduled follow-up with her doctor for later next week. This brought her family into it and that in turn led to long conversations all the way around. When we got home I asked what she wanted to do since there was a house full of people and she said she wanted to be with her mom for a while. That was fine with me as I had no desire to hang around all day with her dad or sister, so I said I was going to finish up something at work and would be home later. 2 hours after I get there I get a text from her begging me to please come home and that she really needs me to talk with her. When home, I was greeted on my own front porch by her dad who asks if he can talk to me for a minute. My anger level was already somewhat high but I was ready to go to war if she had dumped a sack of lies on me with her dad. We sat on our deck chairs and he floored me with his opening salvo. I was expecting to hear anything but what he said. He said that she told them what had happened and that he wanted to apologize to me because he said that he felt like he did a really bad job as a parent and that this mindset that she had was really a creation of her mother's and that while he loved both of them he said they were wrong and he had told his wife years ago that telling the girls that whatever happens before marriage doesn't count was a horrible idea and value system to install in them. He then said that he wasn't there to stand up for what his daughter did but he just wanted me to be aware that what she was saying and how she was acting was simply because she honestly believed that being married was an entirely different life and that they had romanticized marriage to the point that she wasn't understanding real life. We shook hands and he said that no matter what I decided he still thought very highly of me, which honestly made me feel really good for that moment. I then went inside and my wife was curled up in a ball on her mom's lap and you can tell she has been crying the entire time I've been gone. Mom gets up and comes and hugs me and tells me she is sorry and that she loves me and she is praying that we can work this out. My wife is laid out on the couch at this point. Her mom and dad leave and she sits there looking at me and crying. I went to her and we hugged for a long time with her telling me over and over how sorry she was. After a while when she calmed down I asked her what she wanted. She said she wanted to get everything out in the open so I didn't feel like I was being lied to or manipulated. So she wanted me to ask her questions about the affair. First I asked for dates and she remembered exactly when they occurred. Fortunately this happened a little earlier in our relationship than she told me initially and so we were not engaged when this happened. Second I asked how many times. She decided to go overboard with the explanation and recalled each time they slept in detail. This part of the conversation did not help me at all and in fact almost broke me down. Then came the hard part. Why did she do it? I could not ask this without starting to cry. I asked why wasn't I good enough? It was her turn to hold me because at this point everything came rushing at me. Her telling me having to watch them laugh with each other, her now telling me how many times they did it and where they did it. After a while of crying in her arms I composed myself. I simply told her that the betrayal was horrible but honestly her response to me when I found out was just as bad if not worse. She agreed with me and she apologized for calling me immature. She said that she honestly believed that it wouldn't matter to me now because we were married. I started to say something about it but she jumped in and said that after talking with her parents she now sees that this was very wrong of her and that cheating is cheating, but she still feels like that our happiness that we have shared since being married should count for something. I then replied that I kind of felt like that happiness was built on a lie. This led to another breakdown on her part and almost another ER visit. Fortunately we got her calmed down. I let her sleep the rest of the night feeling like emotionally we were both tired but come Sunday we were talking again. By this time I wasn't as sympathetic as I had been when we got home from the ER. I told her that I thought her introducing him to me was crappy, me having to watch her dance with him was extra crappy and the fact that she only told me because she was going to get caught was an elite level of crappy. Then I demanded to know why did she think I would find out and how many of the people at the wedding knew besides me. Well obviously the guy knew, but then his best friend in the world also knew, which then led to her sister finding out and she was afraid her sister was going to be the one to tell me. I asked how often she sees this guy and she said that the wedding is the first time she has seen him in 3 years. Then I lost it and asked her if she slept with him during any of the lead up to the wedding. She got all mad about it acting like she wouldn't sleep with anyone because she was married. I just lost it again and had to leave for a while because once again I felt like she was living on married planet. I finally got cooled off enough to come home and try to be civil about things. She finally asked me what she could do to help me get past all of this, which may not sound like much but it was the first time she offered to help me really so it was at least a nice gesture. I told her I wasn't sure what she could do or if there was anything either of us could do and that I may never get over this. She said that she wanted to help because she didn't want to see me in pain and that over the years she hopes I'll be able to judge her based on who she is now. She would do anything I wanted to work this out. She also wanted to be sure that I knew that she has been 100% faithful since we've been married and would never cheat on her vows. I then asked for a moratorium from further talks till at least Wednesday.